the billionaire who chose poverty. Alexander Grant had everything: wealth, power, an empire stretching from London to Dubai. Yet at 32, he felt hollow, like a man living in a glass palace, admired but never truly seen. People smiled at him, but their eyes only lit up when money was involved. Every woman he courted spoke of love but lingered longer on wealth. He began to wonder, if the money vanished, would anyone remain? One evening, in the oak-paneled study of his mansion, Alexander made an extraordinary decision. For 1 month, he told his aide, I want no name, no wealth, nothing. Strip me of it all. Sir, that's risky. You'll be exposed. That's the point, Alexander replied. I need to know what it feels like to struggle, to survive, and perhaps to find someone who sees me, not my fortune. Day 1, the fall. By dawn, Alexander had stepped into another world. His Savile Row suits were gone, replaced with second-hand jeans and a worn jumper. He rented a tiny bedsit on the city's edge, wallpaper peeling, bathroom shared with 5 others. In his pocket, £50, nothing more. That night, lying on a sagging mattress with the city's noise pressing through thin walls, he wondered if he had made the biggest mistake of his life. Day 4, hunger. By the 4th day, Alexander understood hunger. His warehouse job paid little. His hands were sore from lifting crates. Meals were scarce bread, and weak tea stretched across days. One evening, too tired to cook, he entered a small cafe. The air smelled of fried onions and toast. Behind the counter, a young woman served plates with a smile that cut through the weariness of life. Elena, her badge read. She glanced at his hands. First week on the job. Warehouse, he muttered. Feels like they want my bones as well. She laughed, a sound so warm that for the first time in days, Alexander forgot his hunger. Week 2, the connection. He returned to the cafe night after night. Elena was different. She never asked what he owned, never noticed his clothes, never hinted at money. She joked with him when he complained, listened when he spoke of dreams, and walked him home after long shifts. Yet each smile she gave made the secret heavier. His true identity could change everything. Week 3, the test. One evening, as they left the cafe, a group of youths mocked Alexander's worn attire. One nudged him roughly. Instinct told him to defend himself, but there was no security. He responded awkwardly before Elena guided him away. You're stubborn, she said, shaking her head, but her hand stayed in his. For Alexander, the mark on his cheek was proof. For once in his life, he was vulnerable, real. Day 30, the reveal. When the month ended, Alexander returned to his penthouse. Marble floors, crystal glasses, staff waiting on command. Yet the silence of wealth pressed in, colder than the walls of his bedsit. He couldn't lose Elena, but could she forgive the deception? Dressed once more in his bespoke suit, he entered the cafe. Elena froze, her smile faltering. You, she whispered, who are you really? My name is Alexander Grant, he confessed. My family owns the Grant Empire. I came here not to play games, but because I was suffocating in wealth. I wanted to know how it feels to live an ordinary life. And in that life, Elena, I found you the only person who has ever seen me for who I am. Her silence cut deeper than any insult. Finally, she said, so I fell for a secret. No, he pleaded. You discovered the only true part of me. Tears shimmered in her eyes before she looked away. If you want me, Alexander, don't prove it with your fortune. Prove it with your choices. At that moment, Alexander knew. His billions were no longer his safety net. They were his greatest test. Suspenseful ending. Would Elena trust him again? Would Alexander abandon the empire or find a way to unite 2 worlds, the gold and the grit, into one life worth living? Drop your thoughts, let's hear them.